Good Monday morning, everyone. It's Carol Laurie. It's the beginning of another week. It's April already. This is week number 6 of my Empowered Against Recurrence program, and this is another one of my wonderful dear friends and colleagues, Kellie Lupsha, and she is the DNA blueprint expert. Now, this is a topic that nutrigenomics, that women hear it, a lot of people, women and men, and they don't even know what it means and what we do with it. So I'm very glad to have Kellie here, and she is going to talk all about this. This is her area of expertise. So welcome, Kellie, and thank you for being here with us.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I've been an educator for 25 years in the field of health and wellness and medicine. And, for me, women is a special place in my heart. As an aging woman myself, and being that my grandmother, I came from a history of breast cancer in my family. So it speaks very, very loud to me and really wanting to help people in this process.
Everyone knows someone who's had breast cancer. That's, without a doubt. So define nutrigenomics for everyone, and what does it mean, and how is it relevant, not only relevant, but extremely important for women?
Absolutely. And thank you for just asking that question, you guys. Is some of these words can sound complicated. And so sometimes people tune them out. So let's make it really simple. So when we're looking at nutrigenomics, nutra meaning nutrition, okay, is all natural products, plant-based products, okay, that can affect your gene or your genetic expression. So it's just using a combination of plant ingredients to optimize or alter your genes, your genetic expression. So, Carol, let me just share with people, because some people think, like, well, my genes are my genes, so they can't be changed. And whatever I have, like my parents gave me, is what I have. So let's kind of demystify that from the beginning, because sometimes people think they can't change their genes anyways. So does it even?
Why bother? Yeah, I might
bother?
This ice cream. It doesn't matter. It's not going to really. It's like,
why bother? Exactly. So I want you ladies to think of your actual genes, what you're born with, as a piano, right? That, like, you can't change it. It is a piano. But whoever comes to play that piano could make that piano sound like a beautiful masterpiece, or like really awful when like a little kid's banging on the keys, or the piano's been really out of tune. So your lifestyle, how you live your life, of everything from definitely what you're putting in your body, because the moment you're putting in any sort of food, drink, anything, that is information that you are sending to your body to do something. And it's also in, your sleep, your mindfulness, your exercise, your positivity, your relationships, right? All of that is actually input to the body. But in talking specifically back to nutrigenomics, we're really talking about foods or a combination of plant-based ingredients that can turn your genes off or on. So many of you out there may have ended up, maybe you had a stronger gene marker towards having breast cancer, and maybe not. You don't have to have certain genes to get breast cancer or not. But the key is are those genes turned on? Will they be active, right? Are you leading a life to keep those genes optimal, or are you letting those genes go haywire? And even now, after you've gotten breast cancer, now people think, well, so I got it, and so what? Now what? Absolutely. Your body is the miracle. There's no pill, there's no pharmacy, there's no medicine that's going to literally heal us. Our bodies have the power if we give it the right things. And one of those things is nutrigenomics. So, Carol, I wanted to share with the ladies a quick video on, I want you to get the analogy that we can actually flip switches in the body. So your genes are not hardwired. You can actually turn them on or turn them off. And a lot of genes leading to cancer, and specifically breast cancer, are genes that are becoming overexpressed. So we need to turn them down. But sometimes they're because genes in our bodies have been off and they're not working. Those protective genes are off, and we need to turn them on with literally what we would say a flip of a switch through nutrigenomics. So just to give you guys a little bit more of an analogy, let me just share with you a very short video.
Okay, let's see if we can do this. Tech
I have a button
challenge.
that says share screens. So
Go
let
ahead.
me see.
You go right ahead. Good.
Let me see if it'll allow me to. I don't know.
I've done it once before and it worked. So
Okay, it says,
I
are
just
you
added you to the stream.
okay? Perfect.
So press play and it should work.
It should go. Okay.
Yeah.
There's something about the flip of a switch. With a simple flip, life can get simpler, easier, better. But sometimes, if something is turned off or isn't working right, it may need a little attention to get it back in order. Everything is subject to wear and change. Even our bodies. They break, they lag, their power begins to dim. Just living our lives, our bodies begin to break down. What's happening is the natural processes that have been keeping us healthy are slowly switching off, making us feel tired, foggy, rusty, broken, and worst of all, old. What would we give to not feel this way? What if we could reactivate those processes so we could feel better? What if you can turn them back on? Just like flipping a switch. Thankfully, you can. Enter activation. Recent scientific breakthroughs have proven these switches already exist. They are found in every one of your genes and are responsible for controlling everything from the most basic cellular function to the most complex. So, how do you activate those switches? With intentional use of key nutrients, you can go to the source, flip the switch, and activate those pathways that have slowed over time. So you can feel better and do more. Diet culture, fad workout programs, and the meals getting shipped to your door might help in the short term, but they're not actually addressing the root causes. They aren't flipping those genetic switches. They're band-aids that only mask what is really going on. And that's why you tend to bounce back to exactly where you were. But with activation, you no longer have to accept the status quo. You can choose to change your life, to take control of your health. You can flip the switch. And LifeVantage is leading that charge. As a pioneer in the world of activation, we've proven time and time again that our groundbreaking approach makes you feel better so you can do more. All you have to do is flip the switch.
That's great.
Yeah. So, again, without it being super complicated, I always like to just share with people it can be easier than you think to activate inside the body. And so, everything that, Carol has been sharing with you guys of the fact that we have to, as unique individuals, take control of our own body, and what's going to be optimal or work well for one person may not be the same for another person, but we have to listen to our bodies and make sure in the world we're living in today, we're fueling it optimally. And especially once we've been sick, once we've had an illness, once we're on this journey of now getting well, it's more important than ever to truly be able to start taking control through using nutrigenomics and nutrigenetics for your own body. So, Carol, any questions before? I was just going to talk a little bit about oxidative stress.
Yeah, I mean, I love this phrase, the journey of getting well, because I always talk about how breast cancer is a journey, and our medical oncology world and just medicine and just the whole attitude towards health in America, similar to the standard American diet, is not one of the journey of health. It's about live your life unhealthily. And then when you get sick, we'll do surgery, we'll give you a pill, you'll take, drugs for the rest of your life or whatever. And what I'm trying to impart, and you absolutely do this so clearly, is that it's a journey and you can't control what plops down on your path, like breast cancer or any other autoimmune illness or whatever it is. But once that is there, it's really a wake-up call that we need to start really paying attention. And you said, listen to your body, and it's pay attention to the clues of how you're feeling and what your blood work is showing you and what your testing is showing you and what the kind of advanced DNA testing that Kellie does. Those are all clues, and that is a gift, because then you have real clear-cut information of what supplements you need, what kind of exercise is best for you, how many hours of sleep do you need, what were some of the metabolic contributing factors that led to your XYZ disease. In my case, it's breast cancer. That's my community, but it could be anything. So go right ahead, Kellie, talk about oxidative stress, because we mentioned that in our conversation. And before Kellie goes into that, I just want to say that chemotherapy and radiation create an enormous amount of oxidative stress. And I have a woman in my practice right now who had radiation as a young girl, and now many, many years later, and when they were doing radiation, then it was before they knew what they know now about dosing. And she now has pancreatic cancer because of the huge amount of radiation that she received as a young child. So radiation has long-term side effects that when you go to meet with your radio-oncologist, it's sort of like sloughed over. But if you're choosing to do radiation, we need to get empowered, and we need to understand what is oxidative stress and what can you do about it. It's a very serious topic, and I'm so glad Kellie is here to talk with us about it.
You just hit everything on the head. Ladies, so many of you right now are undergoing treatments that are giving you more oxidative stress. But every one of us that are out and about walking outside, it's the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we have, the benzenes, the toxins, the chemicals.
What we put on our face, our makeup.
That's right. Your laundry detergent, how you clean your house, all the skincare and hair care products, everything, you guys, can be a toxin. And so our bodies are being bombarded with oxidative stress. And normally as we age, right, the normal processes of keeping us well automatically start declining. That's really what age is, right? Our body starts to slow down. But in the world that we're living in today is probably the worst time in history of how our bodies are being bombarded with more oxidative stress than ever in history. I didn't even talk right about 5G and so many other things. Because also the normal food that we're eating, even if you're eating whole foods, plant-based, the food that's coming out of the soil doesn't have the nutrients that it once did years ago. So even if you are eating well, it's often not enough. Okay. It's just not enough. And so this oxidative stress, ultimately, I want you guys to think of this. If you took an apple, you cut it in half, you set it out on your counter, you forget about it. You come back a few hours later. What does that apple start to look like? It starts to brown, right? It's oxidizing, right? It's oxidizing. That's aging. You could take a bicycle or any piece of metal, you leave it outside. It rains and sunshine and rains and sunshines. And before you know it, your bike is full of rust. Again, that's oxidation. Well, that's happening inside every single cell of our body. But through nutrigenomics, you can actually slow down that oxidation process. There is a pathway that is inside each and every one of us called the NRF2 pathway.
I love this.
Not unique to any of you. We all have it. That pathway is responsible, the master regulator of your genetic expression. When you turn that pathway on, you can reduce your oxidative stress by up to 40%.
Oh, I'm turn it on for me. I'm ready.
Ladies, like this is profound. So even somebody who didn't have breast cancer, you should reduce your risk and turn down that oxidative stress. But knowing everything that your body's going through and definitely chemicals, meaning including pharmaceuticals, lead to that increased oxidative stress of the body. And so it's pretty powerful that that mechanism is inside of us, that we, with a quote, flip of a switch, can turn on that nerve 2 pathway and slow down that oxidative damage. And let me give you guys an example of this nerve 2 pathway versus, say, eating your antioxidants, your fruits and vegetables, because it's kind of like, all right, eat your blueberries and your kales, your vitamin C, because those are all antioxidants. So when we talk about oxidative stress, think about it as it's that rusting of your cells, just like the apple, just like the bicycle. But we actually have trillions of those free radicals going on in our body. So it's not a few, trillions that our body is trying to combat. When we're trying to eat our way to health and we eat our blueberry, we eat our kale, one antioxidant, so one good guy fights one bad guy, okay? And antioxidants are good guy, our free radicals are our bad guy. 1 to 1, and that equation is done inside the body. So if you eat your bowl of blueberries, maybe you just killed 33 radicals. But if your body has trillions of those, are you really getting somewhere? Like, are you really making a dent in this oxidative stress? We're not. I kind of imagine that, like, just say a big shopping mall's on fire and you're in the shopping mall with your, hydro flask of water. If you would try to dump that water on that burning building, would that really even do anything?
No.
This
is a really important, we're putting it into really clear questions. How can you make a dent in your oxidative stress long term and immediately? That's what we need. We need immediate denting. Like, you don't want to dent your car, but you definitely want to dent your oxidative stress.
Definitely. So, ladies, in that same example, instead of just putting your little, cup of water on that burning building, imagine if every single store in that shopping mall had a massive fire hose blasting out that fire. Now you're going to start really putting out that fire. When you turn on that nerve 2 pathway, instead of fighting that battle of 1 to 1, like the blueberries were doing, right? Like that little Dixie cup of water, that you're turning on a fire hose. When you flip the NRF2 pathway in your body, that's like putting a fire hose fighting those antioxidants. And so now that 1 to 1 ratio becomes 1 to 1,000,000 to 1 every single second. So it's like, no wonder why all of a sudden the body is capable of so much more, because those are the pathways inside of us that get damaged and slow down as we age and due to our environment.
So the next question out of my mouth is going to be, what do we need to do to turn on this NRF2 pathway, which I love pathways. I'm a pathway fanatic.
Yes. So you guys, science is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Sometimes science can be very, very slow. But now with technology, everything is advancing at such a rapid pace. And I will tell you, I'm doing all sorts of projects. And so these are on my desk right now. But here's a couple books I could share. This is called Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to, by Dr. David Sinclair, right? He's a PhD out of Harvard. This is a brand new book. You're probably familiar with this guy. His name's Tony Robbins. It's called Life Force. Brand new book, hot off the press. Then this one's been out a while. And this one, people thought this guy was kind of crazy, if you know him. His name's Dave Asprey.
Oh, yeah, we know Dave from our community.
Okay, so Superhuman. In all 3 of these books, they all have been talking about activating the NRF2 pathway, about decreasing oxidative stress. So here's the interesting part. For years in the world of functional medicine, anti-aging, regenerative medicine, the only thing people have had to truly start making a dent and activate the nerve 2 pathway was called sulforaphane, which is the active ingredient.
Sprouts. It's handfuls of broccoli sprouts everywhere.
Broccoli and cauliflower. Okay. So broccoli and cauliflower, even though they activate that nerve 2 pathway, they still activate it at the level of being a direct antioxidant. So they turn that switch. Imagine like your light over your dining room table has a dimmer switch. they do turn the light switch on, but very low. So they turn the Nrf2 pathway on, but keep it at that very low level. They've now found there is a product called Protandim, NRF2, that turns on that switch not low, but full blast. So people are seeing changes by activating this pathway so much more powerful. When you use Protandim NRF2, it activates it 7 times more powerful than just taking sulforaphane alone.
Protandin?
Correct. DIM.
DIM. See, I'm glad I asked.
Protan, TANDIM, as in Mary.
Mary.
Yep. Really, really exciting stuff. Those of you that love clinical research, you may or may not. If you do, you can certainly go to pubmed.gov. That's the National Library Institute, where all peer-reviewed public research is held. And you'll find, I think now there may be up to 28 studies on Protandim NRF2 linking oxidative stress to every disease you don't want, including cancer, ladies. So it's a big, big deal. So I know myself, being that cancer could be in my family, my father died of cancer. And like I told you, my maternal grandmother had breast cancer, that I know I need to eat well. I know I need to exercise well. I know I need to manage my stress. I know I need to have a very rigid sleep routine, because that's where we heal and repair when we sleep. So I do a lot of the things, but I also know, living the age we are in today, it's not enough. No. And that's why I'll never stop flipping the Nrf2 pathway in my body to keep that oxidative stress down.
So I'll be sending out information on this Protandim NRF2. And the other thing I want to say, which is anyone who listens to this, you're going to go on the Become Dr. Google and you're going to find these companies that are selling this product. Please don't do that. You'll be wasting your money. One of the things that I really provide for my community is I think everyone needs to be on supplements, but you also need to not be buying them from unreputable companies like CVS, Costco. The worst is Trader Joe's, and people come in and they have a serious disease and they're taking supplements from Costco and Trader Joe's. Totally alarming and a waste of your money. I will let you know who is the right company to buy this product from and how to dose it. There are times when you shouldn't be on it. If you're in the middle of active chemotherapy treatment, you should not be taking this product. If you're in the middle of active radiation treatment, you need to not be taking this product. You have to wait. So we need to be smart about when you take it.
And ladies, I will help and work with Dr. Carol to make sure that everybody is buying it from the right source, taking it the right way. And I will just share one thing. There is a research article by the gentleman who actually formulated this. And the brilliancy of what the body is capable of doing is it can make the cancer cells more susceptible to treatment. At the same time, it helps keep the healthier cells healthy, away from damage from the treatment. So it's exciting, ladies. The science behind all of this is so exciting. There's big things ahead in the whole field of longevity. So I hope you know that this is a bump in the road for your journey, right? And maybe for some of you, it's a big hill you're climbing, and others, it's a smaller bump, but you'll get through it and you'll get over it. But you need to support your body. And Nutrigenomics is one of the best ways that you can do that to stay as well as you can in the journey.
And you can't do it by yourself. I mean, that's the other thing that I've really come to realize, that our society encourages isolation when you're sick. And that's very unfortunate, because we don't, everybody's journey to becoming ill, no matter what the disease is unique to them. And your path out and your path up is unique to you. And you need skilled people to direct you. And I'm an integrative practitioner, so I believe in taking the best of both worlds, medical oncology and natural and science-based integrative tools. But don't think you can do it yourself. I mean, it's like, you go to the doctor, you go to the dentist to get your teeth worked on, you get your car, the brakes changed. I mean, you have a lot of people that you bring in to help you manage your home and your life. And, I think I don't know if it's an illness with part of the cancer miasm, which is the energy of cancer. Women think they should do it themselves. And I think that that's a mistake because, I always consult with people when I know I need help. And I think it's a very smart thing to think, well, I'm not an expert in this. I'm going to talk to somebody who is. And then, you're taking the right supplement, you're doing the right protocol, you're taking the supplements at the right time. As Kelly just said, Protandim can help make you more susceptible to cancer treatment and while protecting the healthy cells. And that's one of the things that intermittent fasting does. So that's one of the protocols I recommend the women I work with. We intermittent fast before we have chemotherapy. So Protandim could be a really important aspect of that whole protocol.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
What else about the NRF2 or your Nutrigenomics? Do you want to talk about your DNA blueprint program? I mean, I sent out an email to all my community.
Yes.
But let's talk about that because that's really important.
Absolutely. Like I had said before, ladies, that, your blueprint, your genes is the piano, but it's the player, right? What are you going to do about it? And so this is what's pretty fascinating. Not, the old test, I'll say the old test, meaning how genetics was started, like, for example, using a company called 23andMe, they were able to map out the genes, but it's so complicated. Nobody knew what to do with it.
You get these pieces of paper with these numbers and these capital letters, and everybody goes, okay, great. I just spent X number of dollars. What do I do with this?
Now what?
Yeah.
Right? Now what? And even practitioners, it was like, how do I synthesize this and make sense of it for my client? So now some of the testing companies are coming out with like diagrams and beautiful and putting in systems. And so myself, I partner with a company that is able to give us a report to not just look at a gene, because one gene doesn't determine anything. It's multiple genes, systems of genes, even a low penetrance gene. If you have something else going on, this gene could turn on. Or you could have a high penetrance gene, but if it tells you, okay, well, as long as you're doing XYZ, you can keep this high penetrance gene off. Again, you guys don't get confused with like, oh my God, what is she talking about? High, low. Just know if you could have your blueprint and customized app done for you, which looks at what are the systems you need to support the most? What are your areas that you're most high risk for? I will give you an example for myself, ladies. I have the homozygous, meaning from my mom and my dad, both genes for the celiac disease. I don't have celiac disease because I've kept it turned off.
Right. But if you ate like pizza all the time and fast foods,
exactly. If I ate gluten and dairy and all these inflammatory foods, I would be so sick in bed because celiac disease is awful, and it would lead me to a cascade of many more autoimmune diseases.
It would. God forbid.
Knowing that, I have so much power in controlling my body that I'm not just going to wait till I get sick and wait till celiac comes upon me. No, I'm going to keep that gene off. The other example I'll give you guys is I have the genes for diabetes. So fun. So I
know about it. Better to know about it.
It empowers me. Yep. So I've done all the glucose monitoring. I know what to eat, when to eat, how to eat to keep my blood sugar stable, right? It's all about metabolic health. Again, I could have not done it and I could have just eaten whatever because why not? Or no, if that's a gene I'm at risk for, why not take control before I have it? And then the last gene I'll share with you guys is I don't have the greatest genes, you guys, is I unfortunately also have the Alzheimer's gene. So I have AP03, AP04. And honestly, it scared me to death because one of the things that's been in my history is I've worked and helped people recover from brain health disorder.
Right, I know you're an expert in that.
Traumatic brain injury, concussion, stroke, and I've seen people's degenerative changes and neurological disorders. It's scary and awful. And I took care of my father-in-law who had it. So I'm like, not me. This is awful. But the exciting thing about it, ladies, is now it empowers me to know how to live a life to keep that gene off. Knowing how to eat, knowing what I can do to exercise, knowing mindfulness strategies and meditation, all these things that are clinically proven to decrease your risk and turn those Alzheimer's genes off. That's what's so powerful. So what you have to realize is breast cancer isn't the end all be all for you. It's just this blip in time, but hopefully it's an awakening that once you get through this, you will now become the CEO of your health. You will now take charge to not have other things in the future. And should you want all of your genes mapped out with systems, with how to live a lifestyle, like you should eat this, you shouldn't eat this. Some people are really great for keto. Some people should not do keto.
Yeah.
Some people can have caffeine. Some people shouldn't have caffeine. Some people like need more rest and recovery after exercise. Other people can exercise super hard, but for others, it actually creates more oxidative stress.
Right.
But you don't know this unless you know the behind the scenes. So I love, we call it, life by design. What's in your DNA? You can design your own life. You can craft your life knowing what your piano looks like, right? Knowing what your genes are. So that's what's really, really exciting.
And what's the URL for that?
So let me just pull that up quickly.
Can you make a comment, or am I the only person who can make a comment and post it?
I may be able to.
Because like there's we're all learning all the time, ladies, about the wonders of technology.
Yes.
Is it working?
I was trying to go back. I was pulling it up and it didn't want to load for me. One quick second. Here we go. And here's the chat. Oh, okay. I was like, where's my chat? I had it hidden.
So you put it in the chat and then you click it. And then once it's up, you go show. You click literally on that chat. It will show.
There you go, you guys. So do you see it there?
No. Oh, you know what, honey? It's in I got it. It's in private chat. I got it.
Okay.
Copy it and paste it. We succeeded, ladies.
Yay. Oh, yeah. I see private. Got it.
It's okay. There we go. There we go.
You can learn more about it. And honestly, feel free. I'm happy to, chat with people, whether they want to reach out to me. Messenger is probably the best place, and I can tell them more about it. And if anybody has more questions about nutrigenetics, nutrigenomics, and all of this DNA testing, I'm happy to answer questions, ladies, because I know the more knowledge and education we have, the more we can make powerful decisions to affect our life. Empowering decisions. So definitely, anything that I can do to support you ladies, support this program that you're here with, I'm happy to do so. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and your expertise, Kelly. It's been really wonderful. And I will be reaching out to everyone about the right product to buy. So don't go spending your hard-earned money.
We've seen people get fake product, old product, somebody, literally putting in a different product in a bottle.
Yeah, that happens a lot. That's why
do not go get scammed.
I am a supplement control freak, and I'm proud of it because I want you to buy the real product. So what it says on the label is really in the bottle and not anything else. Wonderful to see you here, Nicole. And Liz said she has homozygous MTHFR and homozygous slow comp. Yeah, but guess what, Liz? Knowledge is power. You can do something about those. You have to be taking a very specific form of folic acid, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. Interesting, there are many, many variants of MTHFR. So if you have just that one that you're showing, that's actually a much better version than some of the others. So it's okay. And because you have something, again, it doesn't mean it determines your fate, right? That's what I found out. I mean, my husband was like, who did I marry? I've got some really bad genes. But it's okay. What we can do about it is phenomenal.
I know. It's like you can't stick your head in the sand like an ostrich. We need to, stand up and handle our stuff. Knowledge is power, because now you can take very specific supplements. You need to eat specific ways. You have to make sure you have a toxin-free home. Let's not forget that. We can't have, be using Febreze or plug-ins or, oh my goodness, those air fresheners and laundry detergent and laundry dryer sheets. It's the worst. So, and clean, what do you cook on? That non-stick pans are very toxic and filled with bad chemicals. Yeah, I know. I just had to have a conversation with my daughter. She said, Mom, I'm so excited. I bought non-stick pans. And I said, just return them immediately. She goes, Mom, why do you have to be so picky? I go, because I don't want you to get cancer. And she's a second-year medical student. Okay, what are we going to? Oh, yay, Liz, you got your husband to trash dryer sheets. Thank you, Liz. Way to go. I'm so excited. We had a big conversation about being empowered and getting her husband to no longer use dryer sheets, as respecting her needs and also not making him sick too. So way to go, Liz. That's fantastic news. Makes
so
me
fantastic. Right. And little by little, it can be overwhelming. Just take one thing at a time, and make small changes, and small changes over time will lead to long-term new habits.
Right. I mean, it took you a long time to get where you are. If you make one new change a week or 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, by the end of 4 to 6 months, your whole life is going to be different.
Absolutely.
And that's the goal. So, Kelly, thank you so much. We'll be following up, and hang out here for a second, Kelly, so we can talk for a minute. And ladies, thank you so much. This has been so inspiring. It's a really wonderful way to start the week. Have a good week, everyone. And those of you in the Empowered Against Recurrence program, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern, and you will be getting the Zoom link for that. Have a good day, everyone. Carol Lourie signing off for now. There'll be more later.